I'm live. Awesome. All right, live. Just opening up to kill some time, hang out with some friends. Nobody's in here right now, and that's okay. Welcome to Going Youper. If you're new here, if you happen to watch this when it's not live, no problem. Nobody's on yet, so they're not knowing I'm talking, and that's okay because it's just for you. I'm a small-time snake breeder up here in UP in Michigan. Hey, what's up? My boy LKB. How you doing, man? David DW, what's up, man? Just killing a little time. I've been running like crazy all day, so I finally got done with everything. What's going on? My nephew Gage in the house. J Dog, hey, hey, hey. BQ, what's up? Good, man, good. Yeah, just killing a few minutes. I'm going to be on for maybe like 20 minutes or so, just kind of answering some questions. If y'all want to check out something, let me know. Oh, it's been a rough week. I'm so ready for it to end already. Whew. Hello, Heather. Every time I see the name Heather, I keep thinking of my mom because she tells me all the time how if I was born a girl, I would have been a Heather. Yeah, back when I was born, they couldn't really tell if you were going to be a boy or girl or not. So I was going to be a Jason or a Heather. That beats my brother because my brother has a separate father than I do, and his father, and I'm not joking, wanted to name him. Oh my God! And I will prove this to you. If I can get my mom on here, I will prove this to you. My brother's father wanted to name him Gerbilbirth. You can't make that up. That's not a name that you just pick off the top of your head. That's the truth. His name is Shane, by the way. They didn't name him Gerbilbirth. His dad's a little bit, I hope you don't watch my channel. I like you, but you are a little bit, Oh, man. I've known quite a few Heathers, and, you know, they all been pretty darn cool. Just saying, I haven't lived with any, though, so I don't know. Yeah, hey, Van Halen, I could live with that. I'm sure my brother could have lived with that over Gerbilbirth. I'm not joking. I can't believe it. I still don't believe it's the truth, but you know, it's been the story since I've been a little kid that I've heard. Hello, Candace. In case y'all don't know, Gage is my nephew, and I don't mean to keep looking over there, but that's where your writing is. I have to try and look in the camera. Yeah, I'm just killing a little bit of time. I'm actually waiting for my oldest son to show up here, and I figured let me throw up a live and chat about something. What's up, L. Harper? How you doing, man? I got a story about Bret Michaels if you want to hear it, Heather. About the whole band of Poison, actually. It's a quick story. You probably think I'm a goof, too. It's funny. I'll tell it anyway. 1987. I was living in Boston Spa, New York. And I'm a big fan of Poison as well. And you might get a kick out of this story. But 1987, the girl that used to do my hair, and I used to, you know, this is in the 80s, so I had a lot of funky hair things going on. I even had a mullet before there was any such thing as Billy Ray Cyrus. Just saying. I'll find a picture sometime and I'll put it in the video. It was a cool mullet, though. And anyway, Heather, this is for your husband. This story's for your husband. The girl who cut my hair used to date a guy that was playing on the Notre Dame football, and then he went on to play in the NFL. And I really don't remember his name. I don't think he ever ended up being like one of the big dogs or anything. But I had like this big time crush on her. And of course, I was just a little kid, so she wasn't really into it. I mean, I was a little kid. I was a teenager, but she wasn't into teenagers, which is legal. You know, it's legal not to be into teenagers. Anyway, she said she started dating Bret Michaels, and I didn't believe her because she knew I was a big Poison fan. And I don't care if any of y'all out there think I'm a chump for liking Poison. I just don't care. I like Poison. That's it. I'm not ashamed of it. Not to the point where I wore makeup or anything, but I like Poison. Anyway, she kept telling me, I'm like, there's no way. And she's like, I'm telling you, I am. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And trust me, I'm sure Bret Michaels was dating a lot of hairdressers at the time. And anyway, coming to get my hair cut the next time, and she says, hey, we are going skiing up in Killington. And I used to ski a lot up in Killington. That's in Vermont. And she goes, they're going up there. They're doing a concert up there, and then they're going to be hanging out at the lodge. Do you want to go? I'm like, do I want to go? Yeah, I want to go. I really like to ski and snowboard though. Like, it was probably on par with Poison back then, and and Poison does rock, man. I love Poison. Every bit, every CD tape back in the day they put out was great. It just was. And anyway, I was like, yeah, I'll go. I definitely want to go. I'm going skiing, of course, and Poison's going to be there because I didn't believe that at all. And sure enough, my oldest brother brought me up there. It's like a 3-hour drive from where we lived. And there's Poison in this big suite. I'm not even joking. Right in front of me. Y'all don't know me outside of YouTube, but I'm the type of person that can talk to anybody anywhere. I don't mind being in front of big crowds at all and talking. I've never had a problem with that. Also, with the line of work I did in Florida, I was speaking in front of a lot of people often. So it's always something I've been pretty decent with. And when I'm not murdering the English language, that is. And yeah, she was, Gage. She was. And she knows this. She knew this story, man. And I was in shock. I couldn't even speak at all. And then finally, when I could start talking, I would try and go up and just like talk to them. And unfortunately, every single one of them cold shouldered me. Like, I wasn't a hot chick. And they all cold shouldered me pretty bad. And I got embarrassed and I took off and I went skiing throughout the day. Well, Michelle, the girl that cut my hair, was supposed to be bringing me home. But, you know, I was kind of a jerky kid and I just took off. And I went to skiing all day into the night. And I came back and she was flipped out. And CC DeVille, which is really weird because out of all the whole band, that's the least likely one that you would think would give two craps about anything. They left by this point, by the way. They weren't there anymore. He actually spent like 2-3 hours with some roadies of theirs out looking for me. And that's my Poison story. It's not too thrilling, but it's the truth. So yeah, Cece, you don't watch my channel, but guess what? I'm alive. I wasn't lost. That's my Poison story. I'm serious. It really is. It's funny. Let me check up on these comments real quick. You had a good day there, LKB? That's good. What's up, Genetic Hunters, DER? Hi, guys. TJ, hello. I'm sure, I'd say go subscribe to each other, but I'm sure you guys already are. Just killing some time. Like I said, if you're arriving late, I'm just killing some time waiting for my son to come up. My next video, I have some stuff from the first clutch and some of the pied stuff is actually ready to go. I have a few of the pieds that have taken their 4th meal today, just now, a few minutes ago. So that's pretty cool. The snakes are doing excellent, man. They're doing really good. I wanted to make a video on kind of how I pick my projects, but I don't really know how to put it together. Kind of like, you know, when I was looking to do my GHI Mojaves, I was looking for certain female Mojaves, you know, I was looking for certain characteristics, you know, and in my head, I was saying I need a really dark Mojave. I need to find a single gene, super dark Mojave. And I got really lucky and found a really dark Mojave. But I have a few other Mojaves, and none of them really look like the other, excluding the 2 young ones that I have for sale that just came out of that one clutch. But yeah, I was thinking about doing a video about that, but I don't know how I could put it together. Here comes the train. Hold on, train. Train. It's too much. You guys don't want to look at my pens and pencils? All right. Just catch up on comments so I don't ignore anybody. And they go kind of quick. I have a picture of Brett and my husband on our. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm a big Poison fan. I'm a big Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses. I'm definitely an 80s. You could tell I was a teenager in the 80s because that's the music I like. Metallica, there's really nothing that comes close to Metallica for me. I hope that doesn't offend anybody. It seems like people all love the rap and all that stuff. I'm just not a big rap guy. Do I have a list of available animals? You know, I do not right this second, but I plan on working on it. Matter of fact, I promise I will start working on that list tonight, because I actually have quite a few things that are really up for sale. I'm just not that great of a, not in a big hurry to sell anything, but I am. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do it right, and to do it right, you have to take really nice pictures of these snakes. And I'm telling you right now, when you're trying to take a picture of a snake, it never works out. They just won't stay. So I am working on a list, though. So I promise you, tonight when I get home, I'll start writing some stuff out. I'll transfer it over to the computer, and I will definitely get a list together. If I missed any of y'all's comments, I'm very sorry. Sorry. I'll try and go look through real quick. I hate taking the time to go look at the comments and kind of killing the dead air. Seen some advertising. Spartan Josh, how are you, my friend? How are you and the family? No, they don't. Snakes don't stay still. I'm working on it. I'm a 70s baby, man, unfortunately. A friend of mine, it was funny, a friend of mine posted a picture of his little girl. She's starting her 2nd grade. And I was like, God, Chris, you're so old. And I was like, oh my God, I got grandchildren who are starting 2nd grade right now. Better shut up. Oh, it did. So the scaleless head pinstripe clutch. Are we going to see it? Do we get to see it? Balls to walls. Good. Was it good? You don't have to tell me what you got, but are you happy? Yo, I love Journey, man. You kidding me? Oh, I'm a closet Journey singer, man. You guys don't even know. I love all that old stuff. I actually like most music. The first concert I went to was Rob Zombie. I seen Rob Zombie at live stock in, oh my God, 2004. I think 2004. I seen Kid Rock, Puddle of Mud. But no, there's hundreds of bands. Livestock is a full straight 3 days of nonstop concerts. I'm talking 24-hour concerts. You camped there. We had, I think there was 10 of us. We had a giant wheel. We just blocked off this whole circle area of this giant field. It was awesome. I had a VHA. I was making videos back before YouTube. No joke. I was big. I wish I could find some of that stuff. I was such kind of a crappy person that I never really kept anything well. I didn't take care of a lot of that stuff, and I really wish I did now that I'm doing YouTube, because I could use a lot of that stuff. But I took a lot of video. My VH recorder was huge. My VCR recorder is huge. This giant camera, and I had it around. And it was funny because when we went to that, I told my buddy Marty, I go, all I want is some crazy people doing crazy things outside. And we didn't even pull in and park. And I'm seeing this lady go in the bathroom with no clothes on over here, this guy and this girl doing funky stuff on a couch out in front of a crowd of people over here. These people brought a whole semi truck, and all I had was shower heads. The whole side fell down to a stage, and had 10 shower heads that went across the top. And girls could have free showers, but they couldn't be wearing any clothes. That was the kind of stuff they were doing. I've never been nothing like it. There was people smoking joints this big around. I'm not even joking. This is in Florida, and at the time, smoking weed was not legal in Florida or any of that stuff. And these 3 cops walk by, and they're like, "Now that's the biggest joint in this place." This guy's right next to me. Is a giant joint this big around. It was huge. It was ridiculous, to be honest with you. It was a good time. Let me catch up on some of these. I got one scaleless head. Hey, don't tell me everything, man. Don't tell me it all. I want to see the video. I just was hoping you did good. Doing good. Good, Spartan. I'm good. Doing good. You were born in 85. I'm 10 years older than you, Genetic Hunters. I was born in 75. Yeah, Kid Rock. Kid Rock was pretty good. I never seen ZZ Top. I was never a big ZZ Top fan. I'm also not a big AC/DC fan, believe it or not. That might hurt some feelings. But you know why I think is, oh, thanks, Tim. You sent me a photo, and I will check that out here shortly. I don't want to miss anybody's comments. I'm really sorry. I'm not good at this live stuff. I got to take some lessons from Andrew. If y'all didn't catch, Andrew did an interview with Matt from Olympus Reptiles, and it was really cool. It was really good. And then Matt did another video after that, and he put a place where he put a piece with me in there talking about how I'm not giving out warnings about feeding. I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm just not. You know, it's a snake channel. These things happen, and I every time somebody gives out a warning and I'm watching, I'm like, you know, you don't have to do that. I don't. There's so many bad people in doing stupid stuff that in the community that a few of us who just don't give you a warning about feedings. I don't think that that's too bad. I mean, we are snake people, aren't we? That's right, Spartan. I know me and you are the same age. What shot your face? I'm not sure what you're asking, Heather. I just have an ugly face. I can't help that. Yeah, it was kind of like a Woodstock. I mean, it wasn't like a Woodstock, but the livestock is kind of like a Woodstock situation. To be honest with you, I had a good time, but I seen a lot of people overdose, and that was really scary to me. Somebody got all messed up on drugs and rolled their car over the big crowd and set it on fire right next to us, and that kind of freaked me out a little bit. I don't do well around giant crowds and those kind of situations. I'm constantly aware. Comes with some training I had back in the day. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I hear you. I know, AC/DC. You know what? I just didn't like it because I think my brother was a real big AC/DC guy, and he hated like the bands and stuff that I listened to. So I think maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. Hey, there's Andrew. I was just talking about you, man. Hey, we got a few minutes. Andrew, do you want to hear the two ghost stories I was talking about the other night? Y'all, maybe no? Yes? Yes, Andrew, you're older than me. But you don't look it, man. You got a lot more hair than I do too. Oh, cool. I'll make these stories kind of quick. My father's a raging alcoholic. I never really spent much time with him growing up. I was born in Troy, New York, and I don't know the name of this cemetery off the top of my head. I will get it for you. This is a bad time to actually do this story because I don't have the information in front of me, but I'll tell you anyway. You can look it up. It's one of the top 10 most haunted graveyards. That's all I know. You can probably see it on YouTube. There is in Troy, New York. There's a graveyard there, and it's considered to be one of the top 10 most haunted graveyards. I think they even have a statue in there, supposedly weeps blood or whatever. I don't know. But one of the very few times that my mom allowed me to go with my father, he brought me to a fair and got way too drunk to drive home, so we were going to walk. Now, if you don't know what Troy, New York is right across the Hudson River from the capital of New York, Albany. And they call Troy the Troylet. It is a roughneck area. It's a very dangerous area. People think that New York City is a real dangerous city. I think New York City is one of the safest cities in the U.S., actually, to be honest with you. Troy, not so much, back then anyway. And I will definitely read these comments, so I'll try and make these quick. Anyway, halfway home, passing this graveyard, I wish I could remember the name of it. Pinehurst, I think it is. Anyway, he can't go any farther. He's too drunk. He leads me into this graveyard, deep into this graveyard. We come to this bench, and I think the bench was actually like somebody's stone, or like, it wasn't really supposed to be a bench that you're supposed to hang out on. I think it was a bench for like families to come and visit their family members. And as soon as he sat his butt on that bench, he was out like a light. I'm probably 7 years old at this time, middle of the night, middle of this huge graveyard that's super creepy. I didn't sleep at all. And I swear to you, I heard every goblin, skeleton, witch, Frankenstein there possibly was that night. And that's how terrified I was. But in reality, I didn't see anything or hear anything. I just thought I kind of did. I just felt like, when you're a kid, you think like that. But years later, when I was complaining to my dad, I say, hey, you remember when you get all drunk and, made us sleep in a graveyard? And that's when he actually told me that, oh, well, that graveyard's actually one of the most haunted graveyards in the United States, or maybe in the world. I don't really know. I'll just say the United States to be safe. But yeah, so supposedly spent the night in one of the most haunted graveyards there is. I didn't see any ghosts. Real quick, I'm going to tell you one more story, but I want to get over here in case anybody's asking me anything. Yes, Intelligent Design Reptiles is definitely back on, which is really cool. I was wondering when he was going to put that video out because I sent him that clip probably a month and a half, 2 months ago. He asked for it, and he wouldn't tell me what was up. Hogtown Balls, how you doing, brother? Anyway, I will. The other story that I'll tell you is that growing up, same, Troy, New York, my mom had a really close friend. I mean, they were like sisters, and her name was Terry. She's on my Facebook. Terry, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, starts with a V. She lived in this apartment building in Troy, and it was a huge 3-story apartment. It was like you could put 3 homes in this one place, but it was just one place, and she rented it. And in the living room, it had real big high cathedral ceilings with giant curtains that were probably about 10 foot tall. It's not like any of us could reach up there and take the curtains down, to give you an example. And my mom would tell me stories about how she went there to put groceries away, and her and my Aunt Renee were in the bathroom. No, her and Terry were in the bathroom. My Aunt Renee was in the kitchen putting stuff away. And they're like, who is Renee talking to? Because they could hear all this talking. And the talking was like, what are these people doing here? Why do they keep coming here? They need to leave. And they were like, what is Renee doing? They go out there and there's nobody there. Along with a whole bunch of other stories they got. Well, I've spent the night there many a times. And unfortunately, my family weren't the nicest of people, and they thought it'd be a good idea if they had all the cousins and everybody over to have a sleepover, and then they would tell us all ghost stories. And it would freak me out. Well, they also used to tell me stories about how the little girl Crystal, Terry's daughter Crystal, used to talk to a Seth and a Sarah. And there were supposedly ghosts in the house. This is a little kid, a year younger than me at the time. She was probably 5 or 6. And she was supposedly talking to these ghosts, Seth and Sarah. Everybody thought it was bull. Well, if you go to New York and Troy now, and I don't know the name of the book, I will try and get a hold of my cousin and see if she knows the name of it. But there's actually a book in the library in Troy about an old apple orchard farmer and his wife that lived in Troy. It's a city now, but back in the day, 1800s, it wasn't much of a city. And their names were Seth and Sarah. That's where they lived. I'm not a believer in ghosts, and I'm not offending. And if you believe, that's okay. It's one of those things where you can't prove there's a God. You can't prove there's not. You can't prove that there's a ghost. You can't prove that there's not. And I don't want to begin to. As of right now, I'm not a believer. And if you are, I do not judge you at all. Trust me, because I could be wrong. Simple as that. But we all found it pretty strange that a little 5-year-old kid seemed to know the name. And there was no book in the library back in the day when that was happening. This is something that my cousin told me a few years back. She's like, you won't believe it, but they actually have a book in there about it now. There's a big thing about it. So pretty weird. That's my ghost stories. Let me get to some of these. Hello, Nate's Greenhouse. How you doing? I see a lot of new names. I woke up this morning with about 13 new subscribers, which is really weird for me. And I don't know if they're going to last. I hope they do. It's kind of cool. And I'm not sure where they came from. I'm not sure if they came from maybe that video Matt did, or I don't really know. However, the guy here, welcome. Thank you. Let's turn off this. Let's go. I could have got into deeper story with it and stuff, but I'm kind of waiting for my son here. I'm killing time, so I don't want to cut you all short. But so yeah, I know people are like, there is such thing as ghosts. And listen, I will never tell you, no, there's not. I won't argue with that because, your experience is your experience. I'm going based off of, I need hard facts. I'm real hard-headed about this stuff, but I need hard facts. I need evidence, pure evidence. I will never deem any of you guilty unless I know it for a fact. That's the truth. I've always been like that. Nothing has sold, no, from my last video, from yesterday's video. Nothing has sold yet. But to be honest with you, I haven't checked my Instagram because I forgot that's another way to get in touch with me that I told people. I'll do that later. But I have had quite a few emails, including yours, LKB. Right? I think maybe it was from Matt's. I just was surprised. Oh, trust me, I really wish there was such thing as ghosts because I only have one fear in my life, and it's the truth. I'm not afraid of really much of anything except losing my family or something happening to my family. And if there's such thing as ghosts, man, I hope my family members haunt me for life. And that's the truth. All right, let me try and catch up on some of this. Just I remember when I was 7 and my mom woke me up at like 2 a.m. because she got in a fight with her friend, and at the bar she made me drive home sitting on her lap, and I got pulled over. I think all of us that grew up back then has driven our parents home at least once. That Blue-Eyed Lucy might also be Spider Pastel, and so it actually might be a Queen Bee Mojave is what they would kind of call that. And that's a possibility. And I mean, I guess I could blacklight it, but I don't have a blacklight. So, and she is pure white. I mean, pure. Her head, everything is pure. Her eyes are crystal blue. And again, I wasn't going to sell her. She was like, I've been waiting years to produce a Blue-Eyed Leucistic. And like my kids said, they're like, Dad, you're always talking about how, Garrick's always saving all these animals, but he's always saying that he can't keep everything, and that I'm going to do what Garrick always tells me. He goes, don't do what I do. Don't do what I do. And I'm going to try my best not to, because you want to keep everything. But I'm going to make more Blue-Eyed Leucistics in the future, and I don't have any Blue-Eyed Leucistic plans. Mine is a lesser Mojave, so it's not a super form. I can understand keeping some of the super form stuff because, you're going to minimal get a single gene of whatever and no normals. So I get that. But it's a Mojave Lesser, beautiful snake. And I just don't have any plans for it. And I got to be smart. I'm not one of these big guys that has a ton of money and, and can do a lot of these things. And that's okay. You know what I mean? That's good for me. But I have to kind of pick my projects wisely. And I also like to do affordable things. I don't really get into some of the higher stuff. I mean, my next clutches will be later on this season. I have one clutch that's going to hatch here in a few weeks. And then my next clutches won't be coming until later in the season, towards the end of the season. And the next one should be my pastel het clown to pastel het clown. She should be the next gravid. And as well as my Champagne Mojave Fire Orange Dream with my Cinnamon Orange Dream. That's also 100% het for G-Stripe, but I'm really going for the Super Orange Dreams on that. Well, I might actually have some G-Stripe coming too, because the Cinnamon Orange Dream het for G-Stripe is also gone with my pastel het G-Stripe. So some of those are coming. And I have a pastel Woma that I think I'll be putting up for sale. I did buy her not too terribly long ago, but I just want to go in a different way. And I try to kind of breed things that are really kind of more on the affordable side, because I love some of the base morph stuff. Like I have a couple Mojaves that are straight Mojaves that don't look nothing alike, a really, really dark one that I actually got because I was like, I want my GHI to go to a really dark Mojave. So let me see if I can find one. And then I ended up finding one that if you look at it, you'd almost say, oh my God, there might be GHI in that already. There's not, but that's how dark she is. And then I have another adult female Mojave that's nothing like that. Really bright, real golden colors. So it's kind of weird. Let's see, we got Rebel Flag in here. Who's this? Radio Tech, how you doing? Looking to move someplace cheap from New York City? You're not going to find nothing cheap in New York City. I'll tell you what, my area is pretty affordable. I could never rent this building that I rent to do my snakes and stuff. I could never rent this down in Florida. I could never rent that. I am not joking. I pay under $500 a month, and that counts all my utilities and rent here. And it's under $500 a month. So this same place in New York or in Florida would cost me $2,500 minimum. So, and yeah, New York's expensive all the way around. Cheap UP towns. I'm in the southern tip of the UP, so we kind of have a nice little benefit of not being too far away from Wisconsin. So we can kind of cross back and forth. But there is a lot of cheap towns in UP. The only problem is the farther north or central UP you get, the less jobs you will be able to find. There's a lot of factories and stuff around my area. Up in Marquette, beautiful place. Marquette, oh my God, it's one of the most beautiful places. Also, Munising, Michigan, another amazing, beautiful place. I actually have a hike going on up there pretty soon, and that will be part of Escanaba, is the town just north of me. And I love Escanaba. I believe you spelled it wrong, but that's all right. I know what you meant. Escanaba is a cool little town. There's plenty of jobs around there. There's plenty of different things. I'm not really sure what you do for a living, but there's a lot of opportunities up there for sure. And I like Escanaba. Escanaba is a pretty neat little town. I don't know if y'all, they made a movie about Escanaba a long time ago. I don't remember the name of it. It's like Escanaba in the Moonlight or something. But yeah, I like Escanaba though. It's kind of a nice old, kind of oldie town. Stevenson, where my shop is a real old town. And Cedar River, where I actually live, is a really old town. It's most of the lumber that built Chicago came from the UP in this area up here where I'm at. Oh, trucking? Yeah, Dave, trucking, you could find a job trucking here, either just day hauls or across the line easily. A lot of trucking jobs. Matter of fact, I actually know quite a few outfits around here. So if you're a truck driver there, Radio Tech, we'll get you a job. But driving truck's tough, man. I always kind of wanted to do that when I was growing up. But wow, man, I don't know if I could be away from the family that long. I don't know if my family could be away from me that long. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Escanaba in the Moonlight, right, with Jeff Daniels. Thank you, Gage. Thank you. I've never seen the movie, but I know about it. But Escanaba is pretty cool. It's cold here. DA Exotics, he's another one. He lives up in the cold. We have a slightly different cold. They can get some pretty gnarly temperatures in DA's part of the area. We do too. I think we kind of we might get a little bit more snow than he does, but he gets the more cold, and I'll keep that. I'll take the snow over the cold. We still get 50 below for quite a few weeks in a row, but it's pretty cold. 50 below, it's cold. I sound like a trucker, man. Is that good? Just jumping jack from Hackensack with the flatback. Come on back. I used to do a lot of CB talking, man, back in the day, though. I used to upset truck drivers. I had a bass, and I ran what was that? I don't even remember what radio I was using, but it was a bass unit. And a friend of mine came by and gave me a big giant Starduster antenna that I had on top of this 60-foot tower. And I used to piss off truck drivers. Sorry, I swore there. On the highway, and they come track you down. They'd use the RF game and come track you right down. I had big semi trucks in front of my house at 3 a.m. My parents were like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I don't know. There's some crazy guy out there." It's funny. All right, what's up? Hey, Wisconsin is I don't like the politics over there in Wisconsin, but I do like the state of Wisconsin. Beautiful place. But I think you live, Wisconsin, I think you live out by the Dells, right? Hey, I might be Yankee by birth, but trust and believe, I'm Southern in heart. I'm a yes ma'am, no sir type of person. I greet people like that, and I don't find a lot of that up north. There is gotta love carpet pythons. It's a good person right there. How you doing, Gay? I've seen you made some videos. I actually got to catch up on a lot of people's videos, and I say it all the time, and I truly mean this. I wish that's out of YouTube. That's my biggest guilt that I feel, is that I don't get to catch up on a lot of people's videos. I get to catch a lot of the people that do the lives late at night because I'm usually just getting home. But I don't know if y'all know this. I have 2 jobs plus doing this here, so I work a lot. I like working. I was also looking at the Black Hills. Oh, dude, I go to the Black Hills. It's expensive. There's not a lot out there to do, but I love the Black Hills. My son wants to do a scooter trip, Honda Ruckus 50s, from where we are right here out to Deadwood. He's seen some video and he's dead set. I mean, he went out and bought. I mean, my kid's 14 years old. He works his butt off. He makes his own money. I'm very proud of him. He bought this Honda Ruckus, and he's like, Dad, I want you to get one. I want to take breakfasts. I seen this video. He totally wants to. And that's on my bucket list. I want to go see Mount Rushmore, Deadwood. I love the whole history of Deadwood. It's just awesome. Yeah, Gage, you start school pretty soon. A lot of people are starting school already, though, man. So you should be happy. I'm trying. I hope I didn't miss anybody's stuff. I really don't mean to. But yeah, my biggest regrets is I can't watch all y'all's videos. I miss a lot of them, and I try to go back, but it's really hard. It's overwhelming sometimes. And and you guys all have great stuff, man, and that's no joke. Yeah, you know, when we would buy Liam stuff, you know, he didn't really take care of it that well. But Justin believes, since he's been buying his stuff, I go in his room. His room's kept clean. All the stuff he's purchased and stuff is all in its place. I'm proud of Liam. I'm super proud of Liam. He's actually cooking at the restaurant that I was helping out, and he has been the main cook. 14 years old. He's been head cook over there on busy Friday nights. Not always, but you know, when he's there and the other cook can't be there, a 14-year-old kid running a full fish fry Friday up there. I'm proud. I'm very proud. Good kid, man. Makes me feel good. What genetics do you want most right now? That's a great question, man. I think I'm where I'm at. I think I have the recipes to make the things I want. If you're asking me what I'm looking most forward to, I'm looking most forward to, and this is a long-term deal, I bought a female Axanthic Posset Snow from IDR, Intelligent Design Reptiles, Logan and Dave. I actually was the very first person to purchase any snake of theirs. Now, I wasn't the first person to receive the snake, but I was the first person to purchase a snake from them, and that was the one. And I was going to do a big Axanthic project with her, but now, next season, she'll be going to my killer pied because I want to do some lightning pieds in the future. So I'm going to make some double hets. So it'll be pastel, double het Axanthic pieds. So I hope that answers your question. That's what excites me. Outside the GHI stuff, I love GHI. I love some simple stuff. You know, I'm not, trust me, a lot of that crazy stuff these guys do is awesome. The Batmans, all that stuff. That stuff is really cool. But as a colorblind person, I kind of enjoy contrasts of stuff more than I can pick out all the different little things. So I hope that answers your question. Is there anything you guys want to see before I take off here? Yeah, no, it will. Texas. He's amazing. He's done amazing over there. I'm not kidding. The whole town. I was in the bar area. I don't drink anything, but I was out in the bar area, and the place is packed. And this whole corner of the whole restaurant, we're talking about how amazing and how hardworking this blonde kid in the back is. And I almost cried. Like, you know, I'm not above saying it. I almost cried. I was like, you guys are talking about my son. That's the words I said to him because I thought I was going to choke up. I said, you guys are talking about my son. And I couldn't follow that up. So they're all looking at me like, what are you saying, man? You think we're talking crap about your son? Because I was so choked up. I was like, I just want to thank y'all. That's pretty awesome. I'm sorry. Got a ding. Somebody sent me a friend request. Cool. I will check out that later. You want to see that first Mojave again? That was the male Mojave. 1 second. Camera stinks. So nearly height. We were talking about this the other day with Andrew. If you've seen DA Exotics, he hatched out some Mojaves not too long ago, and he has some really high blushing like these ones do too. And I really think that's something different. I mean, I see a lot of blushing on the Mojaves, but these seem to be exaggerated. But this is the male, and really healthy, great eater. He's not so nippy. I have some little ones that are kind of nippy. He's not so nippy, but beautiful little snake right here. And Yeah, I also caught some heat for telling people that my prices are a little bit lower than some because I don't have the overhead. And I got to tell y'all, I'm all set with caring about what other people think about this, that, and the other. I see a lot of crazy people say really bad, mean things to people in this community, and I'm all set with it. I might not have the knowledge as some of these other big guys out there, but I have been doing this for a while. I know, what to do and when to do it. And sometimes I make mistakes, like on that one deal. But like I said, 5 good times, everything works out fine, and you get complacent, and that's what happened. And I ended up tearing a little bit of a hole in that egg. So, yeah, I do. And you know what? I got in an argument with somebody. Let me put this guy down in this little container over here. I got in an argument with somebody a long time ago about you, Gay. Not necessarily about you, but they were talking about how, and you know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say his name because he's a real scumbag. But he's saying, oh, she's crazy. She thinks those snakes give a crap and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, hey, well, you don't know. You don't know what kind of relationship she has. And I don't know if these snakes necessarily have feelings to where they actually love us or not. But I can say that I have a few snakes that I think can tell when I'm around compared to when somebody else is around. So that's got to say something. But yeah, that one person, he would talk a lot of crap to me on the phone about that. And it used to really upset me because I'm like, well, what do you care if this person has, this relationship with their animals? I have this kind of relationship with my animals. I don't know. That person always liked to try and knock people behind their backs. And that's the truth. And if DA Exotics is in here, he'll tell you, because I told him, you can't be the only person he calls up and tells all this crap to. But I'm glad he's not around no longer. And if he does pop around, I got a nice little video for him, his own video that he tried to delete real quick. I have a copy of it. So if he pops back up, I'll be debuting that video that day. Because we don't need people like that. The worst kind of people are the people that sabotage you from the inside out of total jealousies. It's just disgusting. Sorry, I'm going to get off of that rant before I start getting irritated. You guys want to see a really cool Mojave female that I have, my real dark one I was talking about? Do you have Facebook, Got a Little Carpet Pythons, or Instagram? When you price your animals, you got to price them the way you feel fit. I had some people that are upset. They think that I'm going to ruin the market. Well, listen, my prices ain't that much lower. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I don't feel like I need to sell. I seen a guy just recently, just today. He's selling a regular pastel, nothing special about it, little baby pastel for $125. I think that's way overpriced. It's just my opinion. If he wants to sell it for that, go ahead. Ozzy Boyd. Nobody here is going to argue with me. He creates some of the nicest stuff out there. He does. And his thing is, I'm going to sell stuff for what I want to sell it for. If you don't want to buy my Mojave for $5,000, then don't. But that's the price of it. And I'm not saying he has a Mojave for $5,000. I'm just using it as an example. So I don't have a problem with whatever people, but I don't have the crazy overhead. Look at Brian Barczyk. He's got so many crazy activities that his overhead is outrageous. You know what I mean? He has to charge. If you ever go to a BHP site and see how much he charges for his snakes, it's outrageous. It really is. And I'm not afraid to say it. People get mad at me. Oh, well, it's the truth. His prices are outrageous, but they have to be because he has to support a huge, giant place. Same thing with Garrick DeMeyer. His prices, I wouldn't say are as crazy as, BHP, but they're a little bit higher than the average. And me and Garrick are buddies, but I think sometimes you pay a little bit extra for the name, And I enjoy this. I just want to keep being able to do it. So my prices are according. They're not so low that it's outrageous. And I'm not saying that my stuff, is ridiculous. But this snake right here, I'll tell you right now, I'm selling this snake right here, this one right here, $75 plus shipping. I don't think that's outrageously low, and I don't think it's overpriced. It is. It is. So that's why I'm not saying that they charge so much and they shouldn't. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. It's just I don't have that overhead. Why don't I pass the savings on to you? And I'll probably sell more things because of that. you know, and that's fine with me. And if people want to be upset, that's all right. They can do what they want. I'm all set dancing to somebody else's drum. I can tell you that right now. And there's a few bigger guys out there that I used to talk with all the time that used to try to get me into this, that, and the other, and I'm glad I didn't. I really am. Yeah, you got to watch out. If you watch a channel where somebody's telling you they know everything and that's it, they don't admit no mistakes or no wrongs, then I don't watch those channels. I just don't. Hey, Wisconsin, you're not too far from me, man. I could probably just meet up with you with something. You don't even have to pay shipping. You ever go out to Garrick's place? Yeah, I'm not trying to upset nobody. Believe me, I'm really not trying to upset anybody. But I know, but there is people. I've had a couple messages with like, "Hey, dude, you know, what do you mean you're going to undercut people?" I never said I was going to undercut anybody. I said you all are going to feel like I might be undercutting you. It's funny how people get. But I'm all done with that. For the first, right up until all that crap went down last year, I started walking on a bunch of glass, and my videos changed. I changed, and I don't like how I changed. I don't, and I'm not doing that no more. I'm not intimidated by anyone out there, any one of these breeders out there. I think there's a lot of amazing people. A lot of them have inspired me, and that's cool. But I'm also not dancing to somebody else's music, man. I'm just not doing it. Yeah, that's the truth. I will sell my stuff for what I want to sell my stuff for. I'm not asking anybody. And I don't mean to sound like a jerk. If y'all know me, if y'all been watching my channel, you know that by nature, I try to be a nice person. I like people. I like doing good things for people. I like helping. You know what I mean? But I'm no longer going to let people kind of wash over what I do and stuff and be okay with it. It's not happening. And I'll go toe to toe with whoever wants to disagree with me out there too. I'm confident in what I do with my snakes. I love every single bit of this. Every single bit of this. I don't know how many hours you guys work a week, but my day starts at 8 in the morning and I don't get home. I don't know. What time does Andrew do his lives? 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock? That's about what time I go home. Every day, 7 days a week. And I love every minute of it too. I'm not complaining. You know, I am going to keep it real. And, you know, to be honest with you, I always do try to keep it real. But I've been accused of not keeping it real because I don't tell you all my personal problems. Do you guys want to hear my personal problems? You guys have a hard, long day. Do you want to hear me complain about my personal problems? I don't want to hear about your personal problems if I had a really bad day. I want to push my mojo off on you. I don't like that. So I don't want to get into a rant. I also don't judge people either. You know what I mean? Your business is your business. Somebody got upset with me the other day because I said, I don't care what somebody else does with their collection. That's their business. I can't control somebody else's thing. And they're like, well, what if they're mistreating their animals? I go, well, if I can help, I'll help. But I still am not responsible for that. And I'm not going to involve myself with somebody who doesn't care for their animals properly in the first place. So I'm going to go put this little snake back, and I'm going to try and grab out one of my larger female Mojaves. And this is my really, really dark Mojave that I'm sticking with my GHI, and I cannot wait. Yes, back pretty animals. Did I miss anything? Hey, listen, price does not dictate quality. Understand that. It really doesn't. That's the kind of catch-22. Sometimes people are like, well, listen, I'm going to buy this Mojave because it's $100 more. It must be $100 better, right? It's just not true. It's just not true. You know, I've had Garrick DeMeyer. I sent him a picture of my last season, that clutch I had with my Mojave Bumblebee to my lesser. I sent him a picture of all of them. I say, dude, every one of these looks extra nice. What's going on? And he started talking to me about some hidden gene stuff that he has working, not hidden gene, but some secret gene stuff that he's been working with that has kind of spread out in his collection, and that maybe that Mojave Bumblebee is a good possibility that some of that is in there. I don't know if he's talked about this in too many videos. I know he's kind of mentioned it. So he said, you know, the only thing I can think of is that maybe you got lucky on that. And because what it does, and he has talked about this before, it's kind of like an outliner and a color enhancer type of, I don't know if he's calling it Aztec or he's calling it something else. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But But he was telling me, he's like, see, you go, see that? There's a clutch right there, beautiful clutch. I would sell this for that. I'd sell this for that. And, he's giving me all the prices. And I'm like, dude, I can't sell that stuff for that price. I wouldn't pay that much for it. You know what I mean? So that tells me that you can have a nice snake. You don't have to be some giant breeder, and you can breed something nice. Every one of you out there are breeding right now. If you're taking care of your animals, you're doing it right. They're quality animals. So yeah, I'm gonna put this little one away because it's definitely starting to be a little well-worn. One second. Actually, this is a snake that I didn't put on the list that is for sale. She's just taken her 4th meal the other day. And this is Mojave Bumblebee. And you can't tell right now, but I think she is also going into her shed as well. I love the Mojave Bumblebees. I just think they're just amazing. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see her neck stripe, but it's kind of like a different color than the rest of her. And then it kind of fades out right there. It's weird. But yeah. Not the best looking right now because she's starting to look a little bit dark, but I do like the Mojave Bumblebees. I just think they're cool. All right, let me grab that other one. Sorry. Actually, I'm going to just let her sit in there. She looks pretty comfortable right now. And she's actually I have 3 of my Mojaves that are on. Actually, I have a long table with a long strip of the Flex Watt because I broke part of the upper part of the rack. I don't know how the heck I did it, but I must have put something heavy on the one side and it broke off the side, so I'm repairing it. And I got all that stuff kind of stacked over on top just to make sure they don't get out. It's kind of ghetto, sorry. Am I missing anything here? Yeah, I do paper towels on my hatchlings, and I like ReptiChip, but I don't like ReptiChip. There was a fly that got into my shop the other day, and I went to the house and picked up my 3 boys, brought them back here, and I'm like, all right, we don't leave until that fly's out. I'm a germaphobe, man, no joke. Everything has to be right and clean and wiped down all the time. And the one thing I noticed about ReptiChip, and I don't know if this is everywhere, but you can get these little tiny nymph-like flies, and I don't like that at all. I'm like, and Garrick, and I'm like, yeah, I've seen him at Garrick's, and Garrick's like, this is part of the ReptiChip. They're harmless. They don't bite the snakes or any of that stuff. It's just the way they are. I'm like, yeah, I don't like this. So that's the one thing about the ReptiChip I don't like, and I did notice one of those little flies. So I kind of, as soon as I noticed it, I changed everybody's. So it's getting a little expensive to just do that every time you see a little fly. So I am trying to figure out something different. But I do use the paper towel for my hatchlings for sure. And I usually wait until they're over 200 grams before I put them on some ReptiChip. And I kind of just do that because I like to keep track of their stool and things like that, make sure there's no anything that I might feel like might be infection or anything like that. Sometimes if they go to the bathroom in the ReptiChip, you can't really tell and see. So I like to keep a close eye on that. I do like the ReptiChip. I think it works really well. I don't remember who it was. Somebody recently, they were saying they were going to switch over to a Moss. And that kind of intrigued me. Am I missing any questions? I'm sorry if I am. You have ferrets. My brother bred ferrets when I was growing up. And this is back in the poison days, by the way. Really cool animals. A little stinky, but really cool. I yelled at a lady not too long ago in a pet store because she was telling this lady with a tiny little kid that ferrets make great pets. And I'm like, I don't know if I would tell a little kid that would be a good pet because I have Probably pierced my nose twice, multiple ear piercings from ferrets biting my face and nose. Yes, Chris Hardwick. Is that what it was? I didn't get to see Chris Hardwick's video on that, but I seen in the title something about moss, and I was like, you know what? That it clicked in my head as remembering to look into that. So I am interested. If you haven't hit the like button already, too, please hit that like button. I don't know if that really does anything for you, but everybody always says it, so I'm going to say it too. And yeah, they have very sharp teeth, but funniest little creatures. You know, I loved watching them play. It's probably the coolest little animal to watch hop around and bounce around. Those little goops, really cool. But they're definitely not. That's a supervised as a child. You want to have some supervision when you're messing around with a ferret. And nobody told me that when I was a kid, and I didn't learn any lessons because it would constantly bite my nose and go right through it. And I don't know if any of you ever had your nose pierced or something. That make your eyes water. Rob's in here. What's up, man? Dude, I'm just about to get off, brother. I'm sorry. I didn't even think I was going to be on this long, to be honest. I don't even know how long it's been. I've been waiting for my oldest son. He's supposed to stop by here with some pictures of some cars he wants me to check out for him. Yeah, ferrets are hilarious. They really are. I know my brother's daughter now actually is breeding ferrets. So it's kind of like she's in her father's footsteps around the same age he was, which is pretty neat. Almost an hour? Oh, my gosh. My wife hasn't called? She don't love me no more. I've got some messages. I will check any messages. If any of you all have messaged me, I will definitely check them here. I'm going to probably jump off, man. Hey, Rob, dude, you know, I'm not kissing your butt when I say it. I really like your attitude, man. It goes for all the people in here. I really like the way things have turned. I think the community has really does a really good job of fishing out the garbage. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad. I truly am. Truly am. But yeah, Rob mentioned earlier, he's like, hey, thanks. I ain't talking on my butt, man. I like your attitude towards stuff. I really do. It's good to see. I like hedgehogs too. I think they're really cool. I never had one, but they're pretty neat. Definitely pretty neat. Hey, thanks, Rob, man. I mean that. I don't say anything I don't mean. All right. I'm sorry if I missed any questions or anything on here. If anybody had some sort of question that I may have missed that you really want an answer to, go ahead and please put it in there now. Atomic Reptiles, man, I'm real sorry I'm about to jump off here, brother. I hope I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did. I'm not very good at these lives. I got to take some lessons. There's no dumb questions, man. I just got into it with a few of the people that run the Facebook groups. I'm not going to say names, but one of them messaged me after I posted something on Facebook about, you're not going to listen. If you're going to Facebook groups to learn how to breed snakes, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. And I'll say it, I'll stick to it, and I don't care who's offended. 10 right answers, all different. 10 wrong answers, all different. And then 20 arguments in between for one person asking a question. And every single day, at least 5 to 6 times on every one of those groups, you're going to have somebody saying, oh my God, I don't know what to do. It's 3 in the morning. My snake has not eaten in 2 months. What do I do? How many times do we get that question? All the time. Does that give us the right to be mean about it? It doesn't. Have a standard answer. I can't tell you how many times I watch in those groups and people are giving a person a hard time because they're concerned about their snakes. We were all new once, okay? We all have been concerned. I've been there. I've been there where there was no internet when I was doing this. I had to call my buddy Chris up and wake him up in the middle of the night and be like, hey, is this supposed to be like this? Like, my ball python has not eaten in like a week. You know? And he's like, yeah, your snake's fine, man. They do that. It's okay. Call me tomorrow and I'll fill you in. I'm like, all right, I'm all right. If you're nervous and you're scared and you go to these Facebook groups for some answers, how is it helpful to get 10 right answers, all different, 10 wrong answers, and then 20 arguments? How is that helpful? I don't see how that's helpful. And it's every single one of them. So if you're going to the ball python groups, on the Facebook groups, to learn how to breed, you're insane. Like I said in my post, find a good channel. There's a lot of good channels on here that will teach you how to do these things. I'm not really a teaching channel. But there's a lot of teaching channels out there that are very good, that are a lot more helpful. And you can see the proof in their pudding through their videos, and you can put a face to the person talking to you. That's what I suggest. I wish I would have had that 20 years ago. All right. I'm going to sign off here in a second. Let me just make sure that there isn't anything somebody needed to know. Everyone's to me. Send what to you? I must have missed that there, Atomic. And you changed your darn name, so I don't even know what to call you anymore. I want to see what you said, though. No worries. Just like, whatever. I'm late. That's funny. Yeah, I'm not trying to be a turd about that stuff, but it really aggravates me because, and you know, every one of them, they're admins. They start off, this is a peaceful place. You're not allowed to harass nobody. And in 2 months, they're harassing people because they don't agree with something. That's how you handle situations. Matter of fact, the one person goes, well, you've never seen me do that. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I really have. I have seen you do that. And you're actually the reason why I made that post, because you're the last holdout. And there you are attacking somebody. But if somebody says something that they just didn't agree with you with, boom, they're banned off the channel. I think that's ridiculous. If you want to learn how to breed ball pythons, find a good person on YouTube to do it with. Balls to you. He doesn't even like me anymore. Great person to check out. Brian is wonderful. Brian who? Somebody watches Brian Barczyk's videos to learn how to breed ball pythons? Oh, Gundy? I agree 100%. One of my favorite people on YouTube. Genuine, good person. Sorry. I was going to say, I'm not that I was dissing Brian Barczyk. I was just saying I didn't know he ever did any videos where he kind of showed anybody to do anything. Matter of fact, Brian hasn't really done any breeding himself in many, many years, you know. He's got the giant umbrella over everything. He's a busy guy. Brian Gundy is definitely probably one of the best as far as being a good person and knowing what they're doing. And I actually follow a lot in his footsteps with things. I started doing the presentations. I got classes that come here by all the time now, and he's the inspiration for that, for me to do that. Snake Discovery. I don't watch much of her channel. I probably should, but I barely have any time. I'd rather just, no offense to her, and I don't know her or her channel or anything, but I'd rather watch a lot of y'all's videos. If I have time, I like to watch y'all's videos because you guys give so much to me. You know what I mean? I feel like crap when I can't catch them all, and I'm really sorry. Good night, Heather. Thank you for stopping in. I'm going to jump out of here too. Let me just make sure real quick. Yeah. I agree with you, Rob. Real quick, everybody. Yeah, he will. Gundy is great. He's great. I will definitely look into Emily for sure. If I have some time, and I don't know her, so I can't say. I seen another name, Justin K, also a great learning channel. I've learned some stuff from the guy for sure, but again, not teaching you how to breed. I was just talking about people teaching you how to breed. Gavin, I would think is one of the really good ones. Anything else? There's a few others. I'm just saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket with the Facebook groups, because all it is it's the forums of the old days before Facebook. That's all it is. And no matter how many of these admins want to say that they want to start out and be nice and no harassing and all this stuff, they all get this power trip, man, and just somebody disagrees with them. They're like, oh, no, I just do it this way. I like it this way. And that's somehow disagreeing with them. And then they boot them and stuff. I don't like that. I don't think that's fair. Yes, good comment, Gay. I agree. Trust me, when I learned how to do it, I was very lucky that a guy that I used to sell rat snakes to, I used to go out to the scout camp during the springtime, and I would remove all the snakes from their bathrooms because they like to go up in the back of the toilets, and I would actually sell them. I don't know if I'm too proud of that nowadays, but I'm just being honest. And that's the guy that he hooked me up with my first breeding pair of snakes and told me what I needed to do. And a lot of that wasn't how we do it nowadays, but it worked then. Hey, man, I'll tell you what, Rob, you want to talk about positivity movements? You go 2 years back in my videos, and every single one of them, that's really what I pushed on the positivity deal because of all the crap I seen. So it was really nice to see some other people take over on that type, not take over, but be another branch of that positivity thing, man. Positivity is going to help you, man. That negative stuff's not helping nobody. It's not even helping the person that's being negative. It's just crazy. I don't understand. It is, man. You know what? It's okay to make mistakes. I tell people all the time, dude, make those mistakes. The best lessons I've learned in life are through mistakes. And I've made a few. I made that one. 9 times out of 10, everything's fine. And it's that one time, and I won't make that mistake again because it's the first time that it's bit me in the butt where I separated those eggs after they've been stuck for a while. And I won't do it again. All right, you all are amazing. I want to thank you all for stopping by. I'm sorry I can't catch up with a lot of y'all stuff. I really do try. I'm hoping that I will, my wife's hoping too, that I kind of slow down. But we're doing a lot of work. During the summertime, I'm on the planning board in my community. I'm a planning commissioner for my township. And during the summer, we're very, very busy. We've been working over the Memorial Graveyard, and we're doing a thing over at Fox Park, and we're going to kind of keep it rustic, but I'm very busy, very busy. So, but it's starting to cool off, so I have a little bit more time. And I want to thank you all for, spending time with me. I love each and every one of you. See me, bye.